still alive. And
you just left him there?
No, I ran into the closet because there's two doors, and they were sort of in the hallway already. And he stopped me, and he didn't touch me. He was just held the gun to my head, and he was like, "You don't go anywhere." And he told the other girl to finish it.
Now, by her own admission today, that is a complete and utter fabrication. There were no ninjas. Let's bring in the attorneys and John Lieberman, investigative reporter and host Searching for Justice on AOL. I'm going to start with you, John. This is one of the most extraordinary cases I've ever seen come down the pike. Not just the overwhelming forensics, but this marathon of lies is the best way I can describe it. And the jury watching this, it almost seems like it was a crime to take this to trial, that something should have been done because it is the most open and shut case we have ever seen.
Well, it is. In my mind, it is. I mean, the lies are infuriating. The tears are infuriating. Luckily, this detective played it so right. And when he said that he was the one speaking for Travis, that is just so right. And he unraveled Jodi. He allowed Jodi actually to unravel herself. Jodi said things today like, "I've had plenty of boyfriends and they're all still alive." I mean, who says that? She says at one point to the detective, "Tell me how I'm acting guilty." She makes it up as she goes along, and it's absolutely infuriating. And then the Verizon phone tech was on the stand today, and he testified essentially that it appears that after Jodi killed Travis, she hacked into his voicemail to check his voicemail. I mean, everything about this case is just so infuriating, and I think the jury is now seeing the liar, seeing Jodi for the liar that she is.
Meg Strickler, criminal defense attorney, you've got a tough job. She hacks into his voicemail after killing him. She leaves him these phony voicemails after killing him to try to create an alibi.
That's not good. Nothing that happened today helps her case. But my guess is the reason why we're all watching this trial and why we're having this trial is because the prosecution, just like Casey and Anthony, did not take the death penalty off the table. So they're having to try the case because they are going after the death penalty. And I think they're going to have a hard time proving all the one aggravating circumstance in order to achieve the jury awarding a death penalty. Do I think it's second degree or third degree or even first degree? Yes, but I don't think they're going to achieve getting a death penalty in this case. There isn't enough. There's more mitigating that will negate the aggravating circumstances in this case.
All right, 10 seconds. John Lieberman, you think she's going to get the death penalty?
I think she can avoid the death penalty by, get this, taking the stand and trying to show these jurors that she's semi-human. I think she has to take the stand to try and avoid the death penalty.
All right, on the other side,
even though they'll rip her apart.
Jodi, this is over. This is absolutely over. You need to tell me the truth.
Listen, the truth is I did not hurt Travis.
Detective Flores grills her. Anybody else would probably be shaking. And she, you know what she does? Look at this. They go out to get a little rest or coffee or to watch her, and she does this crazy, weird, like, yoga stretch. John Lieberman, what the heck? Why did detectives leave her so they could observe her?
Oh, well, they always do. I mean, they want to see how a suspect is going to act, if they're going to be relaxed, if they're going to be uptight. Some fall asleep in the interrogation room, and they got exactly what they wanted. They got these images. They see how relaxed she is. And you know what? I just think there's absolutely no reasonable doubt in this case because there's no evidence at all to support self-defense. And there's actually a lot of evidence to support that she premeditated the murder of Travis Alexander.
That is so bizarre. I mean, I just leaned back in my chair for a second to think I would never consider being on the air and leaning back like that. She's being accused of murder, and she's doing a yoga stretch. It's crazy. Let's talk, Meg Strickler, about the criminal defense attorney about the sex photos. Because, as a caller mentioned, all it takes is one sympathetic juror, possibly a female juror, the jury's overwhelmingly male, to look at these photos and say, oh, she's being exploited, I feel sorry for her. She's also sobbing in court constantly. is this sort of a Hail Mary pass, hoping for that one juror?
You always want to help for the one juror. You want to hope that you reach one juror when you're a defense attorney that says, you know what, listen to this case, listen to some of these facts, and understand those pictures with this day of technology, most people would never let those pictures ever be taken. So the fact that they're taken, it bolsters, in theory, her self-defense argument. They're having sex, all these things are happening, they take pictures, and understand those pictures could be used by the defense when they present their case, and there'll be a slightly different spin than you're hearing right now. Remember, the defense has not done anything yet. We're only hearing the prosecution's version right now.
Oh, yeah. I imagine what story they're going to weave with all of this material. It's like putting together a collage. Who knows what they'll come up with. Dr. Jodi Ho, clinical psychologist, I don't know if we can go back to that stretch, because something about that stretch just it captures my imagination, and it really encapsulates how insane this case is. And why the public is fascinated with it. What do you make of this woman stretching like this when she's accused of murder and her life is on the line?
You know, earlier somebody had mentioned that she's a bit of a psychopath, you know, that even if there's no history, that this is how she's behaving. And what we know about psychopaths is that their brain activity is extremely low in very stressful situations, such as being interrogated for murder. And I feel like the bodily reflection of that, you know, her stretching, relaxing her body more, sending more signals to her brain that everything is okay. You know, there's something going on there. And I think what's happening, too, is that she is really a narcissist, because she really thinks that with all of these different stories. Speaking of narcissism, doctor, look at her looking at herself in court. She studies herself. That's her in court looking at the video of herself, and she's fascinated. Oh, when it's autopsy photos? No, but if it's her, no matter what's going on, she wants to see the whole thing. Take it all in. You are absolutely right.